Ring, ring, ring. Postman. Who this?
Jerry the worst. Aight, so boom. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jerry, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I came up with this high puff, crisscross, triangle parted, back-headed. I don't know what to call it. I really don't know what to call this thing. I'll put it in the title of the video, but basically I saw this style off of Pinterest and I wanted to recreate it, and the hair that I'm going to be using today is from Better Length, and I'm using their clip-ins in the length 20 with 7 pieces. They're double wift. I have the style light Yaki, color 1B, and if you're interested you can use my code for a little discount. But I'm going to start off with my hair pressed. Very rarely do I wear my hair out, so you know this is a rare sighting of me. But basically I'm going to start off by putting my Mega Growth replenishing oil. This is my favorite oil for relaxed hair, and I'm just going to run that throughout my hair. After that, I'm going to take my pink lotion and put that right on top. I've had like a few comments here and there telling me that pink lotion, or I lost people at pink lotion, like that's an old product and they don't want to use it because it's an old product. It works for my hair. It keeps my hair shiny and I'm going to keep using it. I don't know what to say to that. Like if it works, it works. But nonetheless, after I'm done like pushing that into my hair, I'm going to brush my hair up with a bristle brush just so I can get a good like look at my full head and how I want to part everything. And I'm going to start off by parting my hair in the middle of my head, and I'm going to start by parting it at the back of my ear area because I'm saving space for the braiding I'm going to do later on. So basically it took me a very long time to get my parting down. Please don't let this 10-minute video fool you. This hairstyle took a while and I'm going to keep it in for a while, but nonetheless it was just hard. It was hard to keep my parting straight, and I had to keep doing it. Luckily, I had a mirror and I was using my viewfinder to see my parting. Back when I didn't have my viewfinder, I was constantly just holding a mirror up in front of me and standing to the back of the mirror and constantly just checking my work after I parted. It was still crooked, but it didn't look that bad back then. But now, as you can see, it's not like the straightest, but it's as straight as I can get it right now. And I'm just going to put my hair up in the front and start working on the back. So I'm going to start by parting my hair somewhat not in the middle, a little bit off towards the right part of my head, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the left part of my head because I'm leaving space for the braid that I'm going to make in the middle of my head. For me personally, I feel as though I made my part a little bit too wide. I would have liked it more if it was a little more narrow. So if you ever do this hairstyle, I would suggest you make your part in the middle way more narrow. That way it looks I don't know, it just looks cooler that way. But nonetheless, I'm going to put in some edge control. I did not use a lot of edge control because every time I use a lot of edge control, it looks nice, but it gets white over time, and I hate that. And I can't prevent it unless I use beeswax, and I didn't have beeswax on hand. But basically, after I was done just spreading out that edge control evenly, I'm going to start to braid the middle part of my head. And this part, so braiding the back of your head backwards isn't that hard. Like it wasn't really that hard at all. Yeah. And you're talking to a girl, or you're listening to a girl who really just learned how to braid last year, and I barely know how to do it, and I could do this better than I can braiding the front of my head, which is weird. I tried to braid as tight as possible just to make sure it was as flat as possible, and like I said, if I could go back, I would definitely make this a little bit more narrow. However, I just, I being that I just learned how to braid, I didn't know I needed my part to be extra small to match the smallness of the braid. So alright you guys, so this is like the hardest part of this hairstyle. The backwards braid was nothing to this parting. So basically I'm going to start off by doing the same thing I did to the braid. I'm just going to brush that edge control around the perimeter of my head, and then I'm going to start parting my hair with a rat tooth comb, with a metal into it. So I can't really walk you through how I parted my head. I can kind of just show you rather than tell you, but I can say some tips along the way. Don't use too much edge control. I already said it gets white over time. As far as the rubber bands go, I would say please do not make them too tight. Just make them loop it at least till it feels secure. That's all I can say, because 3 loops was way too little and 7 was way too much in some areas. Just make sure you're not having a lot of tension. This hairstyle should be painless, you know. If you would like to do this hairstyle but you don't want to use rubber bands, there are plastic rubber bands or plastic bands that you can use that are known not to really have that much hair breakage. I don't experience breakage myself, that's why I keep using these black rubber bands. However, I know some ladies do, and that's another option, you know. So as you can see, I'm working from the bottom upwards because this helps me map out my triangular parts a little bit better. Again, please do not let this 10-minute video fool you to thinking this is a fast hairstyle. I feel as though this took me about 3 hours. Majority of my time was spent parting this section right here and the next section over. So just make sure you're taking your time to make your parting as neat as possible, because that's going to be the difference for this hairstyle in particular, coming out amazing and just you know. So finally, once I'm done parting my head, I'm going to separate the parts into the spaces of the triangle. I don't know how to explain this part, but you see me doing it. I'm leaving a lot of these clips in just because I know it's very hard to part the back of your head. So this might be the blueprint, you know, for some people to follow and not want to freehand it. But nonetheless, I'm gonna just stop talking. At one point in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I pushed in the clips, or like the little gold clips that I want in my head. And I'm basically going to twist my hair a little bit and then I'm going to push it in. So yeah. So this is the final results, you guys. As you can see, it looks super cool. It looks so decorated and pretty. I was super happy. So although I was happy with this, I'm nowhere near done this hairstyle yet. So what I'm going to do now is go to the side of my head, and remember, I parted my hair at my ear area but in the back of my ear, and now I'm going to part my hair again at the middle part of my ear, or towards the front, just so I have something to braid. I have a very small section to braid, and I'm just going to put my hair up towards the front in a little bantu knot just to make sure it's nice and tight and it won't get in the way of my braiding that I'm going to do now. If you notice, my braid or my parting kind of got a little bit messed up towards the back. I don't know how I did that, but you know, just make sure you're being a little bit more careful than Jerry. So after I was done this part of my head, I went on to do the right side of my head as well. So y'all, we are finally at the front of my head. We are almost done this hairstyle. What I'm doing now is taking the beeswax I finally found at the bottom of my hair bin and I'm going to smooth that into just the front part of my head. What I like about beeswax is it has this weight to it that holds your hair down, makes it shiny, holds it in place, and it just doesn't wear off over time. That's what I noticed. But anyway, after I'm done pulling my hair up into a ponytail, I'm putting it into a nice tall bun so I can wrap my hair around around it later on. And I'm going to take my extensions now and just start clipping in my hair. So I clipped it as close to the bun as possible. And just to talk about the hair for a second, because I honestly enjoyed wearing these clip-ins. I definitely enjoyed these clip-ins because, number one, what I'm noticing with clip-ins is there's literally no shedding that happens versus with, like, you know, a wig or bundles. Sometimes there is shedding, there's none. Two, Yaki hair. At first I didn't really understand why people like Yaki hair, because I'm like, what, you know, what's the point? If I'm going to buy hair, I'm going to buy Brazilian hair just because I know it's shiny, it holds a curl over time, and it just looks good. But y'all, when I say my hair looks better now than it did when I initially did this hairstyle, which is about 7 days ago, a whole week ago, oh my gosh, Yaki hair may not be as shiny as Brazilian hair, but it holds a damn curl. It holds the curl for so long. I still have the same curls I got going on in this video and right now, you guys. Like, obviously it's a little bit more voluminous than Brazilian hair. I just felt like it matched my hair texture to the T, and I've never came across hair that looks better over time. But to preserve this hairstyle, I just put my silk scarf on around my head, and then I just put a bonnet on top of the puff ball. If I wanted to renew the puffball, all I did was put some flexi rods in, and that was it, you guys. So I'm officially done this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this hairstyle, and subscribe if you haven't, because I do a lot of hairstyles. So without further ado, I will see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.
Looks, I be giving looks, Fashion Week in New York and I just got booked. Looks, I be giving looks, Fashion Week in New York and I just got booked. Looks, I be giving looks, Fashion Week in New York and I just got booked. Looks, I be giving looks, Fashion Week in New York and I just got booked.